So now that we've painted our coasters and we've allowed them to dry, so we want to have them thoroughly dry, and I'm going to show you how to get this really lovely high gloss finish using this product, which is called DecoArt Americana Triplethick. And so this is the brilliant brush on gloss glaze. You can get these in different finishes, like a semi matte and a matte finish, but this is the gloss one. And you can buy this on Amazon, and it really does replicate resin, and you don't have to wait for hours for it to dry. But I would advise, before you start using your coasters, you will find when it's touch dry, it can feel a little bit sticky. So 24 hours will be sufficient, and then you're ready to go with it. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to apply it. And you want to get a brush that is still a good, decent quality brush that's soft, but not your finest paintbrush, okay? Not your finest watercolor paintbrush, because this stuff, you can wash it off your paintbrush. You've got to do it really carefully, and as soon as you finish painting with it, get your brush in some hot water, use some washing up liquid, some dish soap if you're in America, to remove all the traces of the Triplethick off there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dispense it out of here. So I'm going to pour some on there, and we're just going to brush it over our piece. And you want to go in the same direction. So you just want to, I'm going up and down, I'm not going across, because you want to try not to get lots of brush marks in your coaster, because that's how it will dry. It kind of levels itself out as well. Now it doesn't smell really toxic and horrible like resin does. I'm not a resin fan, to be perfectly honest with you. Nowadays, it's not something that I like using. And the Triplethick does the job. I really like it. Now, as the name suggests, it is a lot thicker than the varnish that we've been using, the sculpted varnish. So we want to just make sure that you brush it all the way. You can see any little pockets of bits that are, you know, like where there are little undulations in the clay, should I say. And we're just going to brush that around. You want to make sure that you go down the sides as well. And this is why I use a Teflon sheet, because, you know, when you're going down the side, sometimes it can stick. So we don't want that to happen. But you can see how thick this product is. It's absolutely fabulous. And a little bit goes a long way. So you get a small, I'm just going to put some onto the brush itself. You get a small bottle, but what you'll find is it's actually really, you know, you don't use absolutely loads and loads of it. So what I'm going to do now is leave that to dry. And also, just like resin, you know, if there's any dust in the air, because we have been sanding, and I have a cat in the studio, and when she, you know, like her fur gets around, so what is ideal is if you could put a bowl over the top of it, so that you know, it doesn't get affected by any dust particles that are in the air, because they will settle on it. Any pet fur, anything that wants to land on your piece and ruin the beautiful shine of it. Now, allow that to dry for at least 3 hours in a room temperature, you know, in a fairly warm room, and then you can add a second coat to it if you wish. If you're happy with the first coat, then that's fine. I always like to put at least 2 coats on my coasters. And what you get is, you get this really super shiny finish, which is absolutely gorgeous. So there we have it. That's how to apply the Triplethick glaze. Now, with the coasters, what I would recommend is that you paint both sides of them, because when people come over to your home, and then you go, oh, would you like a coaster for your drink? I wouldn't recommend hot drinks on these, but I would, you know, and I've used mine for glasses and cold drinks, and it's perfectly fine. So they might pick the coaster up and go, oh, that's gorgeous. Did you make this? And they're going to turn it over. And so what you don't want is for them to see a bare clay back. So you want to seal it. And I did put some triple thick on the underside of mine, or you can put some sculpted glaze, should I say, if you don't want to use your triple thick on the back of it. Okay, now the final thing that I wanted to show you is the tiny little friends. And so I've made some little lemons. I made a little orange slice, and they're so cute. And so just did those in the same way, cut the shapes out using a template or a cutter, and did the paint effects the same way, but we want to put a little smiley face on them. What you can also do is glue a fridge magnet onto the back of these, a little magnet, or you can pop a little brooch back on it as well. You can just glue that on with some resin glue. 2-part resin glue is probably the most effective way of gluing magnets and metal onto the back of these. But I just wanted to show you how to do the little face using our stylus. So our embossing tool. I've got the one that's got the finest little bead on the end of it. I'm just going to zoom in so we can see this more clearly. And I've got some black paint there. Now this one is super small. So I've got some paint on the end of my stylus, and I'm just going to do the little smile. Let's do the end of the smile, and then dip it in again, and we'll have one eye and the other eye. Just a tiny bit more paint on there because one eye is bigger than the other. And there you go, and that's how you can get your tiny detail. That's how you can get, you know, your little eyes and your mouth. Did the same with a bit of pink to create the cheeks on the lemon and the little dots there. But they are so cute. So I hope that you have enjoyed learning all about making our fruity coasters and our fruity little miniatures. And I'd love to see the pieces that you make, so do share them with me through email, or you can share them on Facebook if you prefer. But have fun making some beautiful fruity designed coasters and little miniatures.